Hey, it's Marty the Pasta Guy. Today I am going to compare 5 brands of jarred spaghetti sauce. More specifically, I'm going to compare 5 grocery store brands of jarred marinara sauce. Spaghetti sauce being more of a slow cooked sauce it's thicker, has more spices than a marinara, which is normally thinner, more rustic, and has very few spices. So hopefully one of these can get that right. I'm going to try to keep an open mind here. I have never had a jarred sauce in my life that I know of. I didn't grow up with this stuff. All right, if my mother saw me doing this, she'd beat me with her rosary. I have no allegiance to any of these. I don't have to do a blind taste test because I don't care which one tastes better. I'm not going to be snobby about it. Let's just see what happens. I'll go over my brands here. I've got Rao's, which is made by the people who own the famous restaurant in East Harlem, New York, and they use Italian plum tomatoes, and it is made in small batches, and Rao's has really good word of mouth. I have an Italian friend who says that she's not impressed with it, but her sister loves it, so generally people say good things about Rao's. And DeLallo, this is a good friend's favorite brand, and this is the only sauce of the bunch that uses cherry tomato puree. I love cherry tomato sauces, so maybe I'll like this, I don't know, but it also includes, it says that it has celery and carrots, and it's like, you know, they always find a way to screw up things. So, but like I said, I'll keep an open mind and see what happens. Bertolli, I'll get back to that in a second, but let's skip over to this brand, the Cento. Cento is my go-to brand for San Marzano tomatoes that I use for my own sauce when I make marinara. And this doesn't use the San Marzanos, which are a sweeter type of tomato. It uses just Italian tomatoes, but it is the only one of the bunch that says that it uses extra virgin olive oil as opposed to just olive oil. Victoria, I have a video where I compare pasta brands, and someone asked me if I was going to do a video like this, if I would include this brand. You can find it at Costco. She said that it was her favorite brand. I said I would include it. It's the most expensive brand of the bunch. It's twice as much as the cheapest brand, which is the Bertolli. But I'm not going to get into that, because then you start saying things like, well, this one is the best one for the money, and I just want to know what the best one is, you know? So the Bertolli is your basic bread and butter grocery store brand. We all know the olive oil. It's been around forever. This one is organic, and it has organic tomatoes, organic everything. It also has the ingredient calcium chloride, which is my personal favorite chloride. I think they salt the streets with it. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's in our best interest. Hey, I'm starving and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here. Starting with the Rao's, I put a little sauce in a saute pan, and I put some al dente pasta in with it and finished cooking the pasta in the sauce, sprinkled some Romano on top, and I tasted it and then gave my comments. But the way that I did that with each one of these made a video that ended up being 15 minutes. And honestly, I don't feel like this video deserves that kind of time. I will sum up everything with these individually, and then I'll come to a conclusion at the end. But I think I can go through this in a much more concise way. The Rao's tasted good. Yeah, I liked it. It had a strong onion aftertaste, though. That was notable. The DeLallo is made with cherry tomato sauce. You can get a lot of mileage out of cherry tomato sauce, but the dominant flavor in DeLallo is celery. Yeah. What? You say? And I don't blame you for saying it that way. As my father would say, what's the matter with you, DeLallo? And that's when he was pleasant. Bertolli is very chunky, okay? It's got a lot going on. Too much going on. Very, very garlicky. So a strong garlic aftertaste. However, the best calcium chloride I think I've ever had. Cento. I was really pulling for Cento because I use their San Marzano tomatoes in my own marinara. And they're great, but the Cento sauce here is lackluster, and also the tomatoes are really kind of tinny. They're sort of acidic, that kind of ruins it. Move on to Victoria. Now Victoria is probably, as far as marinara goes, it probably tastes more like marinara than any of these. I'd say Rao's tastes more like spaghetti sauce with more spices and slower cooked and all that, but this Victoria was interesting, and I thought, well, maybe I could do something with that. So I tried to doctor it up, and I put some of the ingredients that I use in my own marinara, a little wine, a little more olive oil, some more pepper, and I thought, yeah, let's see what that does. And it just turned evil. It was awful. This Victoria may be good if you're going to stuff some bell peppers or make manicotti. That would be fine for that. So when I finished doing this comparison, I thought Rao's was number one, Victoria number two, and these three in the middle were out of the running altogether. Cento would be all right if they used better tasting tomatoes. The tomatoes in the Bertolli were not offensive. I couldn't taste the tomatoes in this because of the celery. Here's what happened. First of all, I was really hungry when I did this comparison. So I felt like my appetite that night, I just come from the gym and everything, and I felt like the fact that I was so hungry would override any prejudice that I had about these because I didn't grow up with jarred sauces. So there was that. I felt like I was giving them their best shot. And I made the next night some pasta with Rao's, and I thought, yeah, I'll eat that. That tasted pretty good. Left an onion taste in my mouth, but anyway, it made me sick. It's like it upset my stomach, and sauces don't do that. I eat red sauce 3-4 times a week. I have all my life, so I've never had that reaction before. It's kind of like Taco Bell tastes good going down, and then I tasted onions the whole next day. It was just, these are gross. These are horrible. They're awful. They're crap. And maybe I'll do another video where I'm comparing the more upscale brands. One of them uses whole cherry tomatoes. One of them uses San Marzano tomatoes. So maybe one of those are good. But not that it's that hard to make sauce. It's just not. It takes me 20 minutes to make my sauce. If you're not going to make my marinara, make somebody's. They're simple, right? But I think what's going on here is that Big Sauce is out to manipulate you. They think that you are just a lowlife with pedestrian taste buds, and they're gonna knock you over the head with flavor. Like punch them in the face with onions and knock them over with garlic. And DeLallo, God love them, with their celery idea. Just prove to them by not buying this stuff that you're more sophisticated than that. Anyway, thanks for watching this, and please check out some of my other stuff. That's all they're good for.